Hello, everyone. We are now in the season of Lent. Now, the early church set aside these 40 days, not including Sundays, leading up to Easter as a time of prayer and fasting, fasting from some particular food or giving up something that might be getting in the way of our relationship with God. Well, this year it feels like so much has already been taken away from us that the thought of giving up something else seems cruel or at least unnecessary. So rather than giving something up, we want to add something. Practices, choices, affirmations, commitments that will nourish our bodies, our minds, our spirits, and our relationships. So this Lenten season, we want to focus on what it means to have an embodied faith in a virtual year. As part of that, we are going to share a series of short videos like this one, talking about embodied spiritual practices that you can add to your daily life. Now you're probably wondering, what do we mean by embodied spiritual practices? Well, too often we think of spirituality as somehow existing separate from our physical life. But more and more we are coming to understand an ancient truth, which is that the body and mind and spirit are interconnected and interdependent. In fact, two traditions have always lived side by side within Christian spirituality. One reminded us that there is more to life than just the world we see around us. The other reminds us that life, that world around us, is imbued with spirit and significance. So embodied spiritual practices are those that put us in touch with our spirituality and our bodies through our bodies, instead of pitting the two against each other. These are all prayerful activities because they are ways to seek a connection to God and experience God's presence. So the word for this in the Christian tradition is contemplative. These are all contemplative practices. Now I'll give you an example of one as our first practice, and then others will be chiming in the weeks to come. Prayer can take the form of talking to God, right? Out loud or silently. It can be a matter of expressing hopes, confessing mistakes, lifting up those who are hurting, and asking for help. Prayer can also mean sitting quietly with God, seeking a kind of interior connection. For many Christian mystics, prayer is an experience where your body feels like it melts away and there is only you and the presence of God. But for others, there is an emphasis on staying grounded and encountering God within and through our bodies. So, for instance, from the Eastern Orthodox tradition, we have what is called a breath prayer. It is a prayer made repeatedly, silently, in time with your breath. The classic example of this is, "My Lord Jesus Christ, Son of the living God, have mercy on me, a sinner." But you can make this your own. I like to do a shorter version, "My Lord Jesus," or "My rock, Jesus." You can play around with it. "Peace of God, fill my heart. Holy wisdom, guide my steps." The beauty of this prayer is that it puts us in touch with our breath and our bodies. It reminds us of the way Genesis describes a God who gets down into the dirt and breathes life into our nostrils. It's also a great way to do what Paul suggests and pray without ceasing. So you don't need to go to some place and be apart. You can be praying this prayer as long as you're breathing, which hopefully is all the time and in all your activities. So I will sometimes pray this while in time with my steps or my breath while walking or running, turning exercise itself into a prayer. You could pray something like this while washing the dishes or making dinner. So consider this week. Try it out. See what works for you. And over the next few weeks, we'll be talking about other embodied spiritual practices in the Christian tradition, including journaling, play, service, Sabbath. So hit like or subscribe and stay tuned for more.